When I was a kid, Halloween was a big deal in our neighborhood. My friends and I eagerly anticipated it every year. We'd spend weeks planning our costumes, and on the big night, we'd set off with our pillowcases ready to be filled with candy. But one Halloween, something extraordinary and eerie happened. At the end of our street, there was a house that had a mysterious reputation. People claimed it was the best spot for trick-or-treating, promising a legendary candy stash. As the sun set and the night grew darker, we decided to make our way to this legendary house. The place looked like something out of a horror movie. Cobwebs covered the windows, and a jack-o'-lantern on the porch flickered ominously. Our youthful bravery wavered as we approached the house. The setting was eerie, to say the least, but the promise of legendary candy was too tempting to resist. With a deep breath, we climbed the creaky steps to the front door and rang the bell. The door opened slowly, revealing a dimly lit hallway. A woman stood in the shadows, her face obscured by the dim light. She offered us a bowl of candy, her voice a mere whisper. As we reached for the candy, she leaned closer and began muttering strange things about Halloween spirits and the thin veil separating our world from the next. Her words sent chills down our spines. Nervously, we thanked her and quickly left, attributing her odd behavior to a Halloween act. But the encounter didn't end there. As we walked back home, the moon cast an eerie glow on the neighborhood, and the wind had a chilling bite. We couldn't help but feel as though her words lingered in our minds, casting a mysterious shadow over our Halloween advent. One Halloween, my friends and I decided to explore a neighborhood known for its haunted houses and peculiar customs. We couldn't resist the allure of something different and exciting. Little did we know that this adventure would take a truly bizarre turn. As we navigated the darkened streets, an unsettling feeling enveloped us. It was as if an unseen presence was following our every move, like an eerie, ghostly specter lurking in the shadows. Initially, we dismissed it as mere coincidence, a consequence of the spooky Halloween atmosphere, but the sensation persisted. A man, shrouded in a tattered outfit, started emerging from the darkness, trailing us at a distance. He never spoke a word, but his mere presence sent shivers down our spines. We hastened our pace, but he remained persistent. The situation reached its peak when we turned a corner onto a desolate street. With the stranger still on our tail, panic set in. We sprinted, not daring to look back, until we found ourselves in the shelter of a dense forest. There, we huddled in silence, our hearts racing, as we observed the mysterious figure pass by. It felt like an eternity, but eventually he abandoned his pursuit and disappeared into the night. We only emerged from our hiding place when we were certain he was gone. As we made our way back home, relief washed over us, though the memory of the enigmatic stalker still haunts our Halloween tales, forever adding a spine-tingling twist to our holiday experiences. One chilly Halloween night, my friends and I embarked on an adventure to explore a different neighborhood renowned for its extravagant Halloween decorations and unusual legends. Little did we know that this Halloween night would be unlike any other. As we journeyed through the dimly lit streets, an eerie feeling settled upon us. It was as though an unseen presence was tracking our every move. We brushed it off initially, attributing it to the spooky ambiance of the night, but the sensation grew stronger. A shadowy figure, dressed in tattered clothing, started materializing behind us. He didn't speak, but his presence was undeniably unsettling. We quickened our pace, but he continued to trail us, as if bound to our Halloween adventure. The tension reached its peak when we turned a corner onto a desolate street, finding ourselves alone with the enigmatic stranger. Panic surged, and we sprinted, refraining from looking back. We sought refuge in a dense thicket of trees, where we decided to hide. We crouched in silence, hearts pounding. As we watched the stranger pass by, it felt like an eternity, but eventually he gave up his pursuit and disappeared into the night. We only emerged from our hiding place once we were certain he was gone. As we made our way back home, the relief was palpable, though the memory of being pursued by the mysterious stranger in the shadows remains etched in our Halloween recollections. A story that continues to send shivers down our spines. When I was a kid, Halloween was a major event. My friends and I couldn't wait for that one night of the year when we could dress up and gather as much candy as possible. But one Halloween, we stumbled upon a house that changed the way we thought about the holiday. At the end of Elm Street, there was a house shrouded in local legends. People said it had the most amazing candy, and the front yard was transformed into a spooky graveyard. As darkness descended on Halloween night, we made our way to this mysterious house. The graveyard was eerily realistic, with tombstones, skeletons, and a fog machine that created an ominous atmosphere. As we approached the house, the front door opened on its own, and we hesitantly stepped inside. The interior was even more astonishing and terrifying. Cobwebs adorned every corner, and creepy decorations adorned the walls. A man dressed as a zombie offered us candy. It was an impressive setup, and we eagerly grabbed a few treats, saying our thanks. As we made our way out, something bizarre happened. The man in the zombie costume whispered to us, "Don't eat the candy, it comes with a price." We laughed it off, thinking it was all part of the show. But as we walked away, our candy suddenly transformed into creepy, wriggling creatures. We couldn't believe our eyes. We hurried back to the house, but it was empty, as if it had never been occupied. We learned a valuable lesson that Halloween night, sometimes appearances can be deceiving. We never did find out the real story behind that house, but it forever changed the way we looked at Halloween. One Halloween, my friends and I decided to explore a different neighborhood known for its elaborate decorations and unique customs. Little did we know that we'd encounter something straight out of a horror movie. As we ventured down the dark streets, an eerie feeling settled upon us. It was as if an unrelenting presence was following our every step, lurking in the shadows. We initially dismissed it as our imaginations running wild, but it persisted. A stranger masked and dressed in an unsettling costume began to appear behind us. He didn't say a word, but his presence sent chills down our spines. We picked up our pace, but he remained only a few steps behind. The tension peaked when we turned a corner and found ourselves on a desolate street. With the masked figure still in pursuit, panic set in. We ran, not daring to look back, until we reached a nearby park where we could hide. Huddled behind some trees, we watched as the masked trick-or-treater searched for us. It felt like hours, but he eventually gave up and vanished into the night. Only when we were certain he was gone did we emerge from our hiding place. We made our way back home, still shaken by the unsettling experience. That Halloween night taught us that the line between make-believe and real fear can blur in ways we'd never imagined, leaving a lasting impression on our Halloween adventures.